Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Jashodanandana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tidavana Chari Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Jamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnu Pad-Paramahamsa Vairajagacharya Ashtatar Shri Srimad Shalabhacharanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Pratishthatacharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Navadip Mayapur Dham ki Sisinita Gaur Shitanath Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Vandeyaham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagurajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tang Shajibam Shadvaitam Shavadutam Parijanashaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shibishakam Scha Mantra Guru Ajota Śikhā Guru Ganta Charane Age Kariya Vandan Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Niribhi Shesha Shandavadi Prashtattadesha Tarane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare 86 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna sadamupagate dharma jnana adivishah kalonashtadrisham esha purana karunoditaha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Naikatra jayati śālini pāda-padmaṁ. Ghnantyā muhuḥ kara-talena patat-pataṅgam. madhyam viṣīdati bṛhat-stana-bhāra-bhītaṁ. śānteva dṛṣṭir amalā suśikhā-samūhaḥ. Naikatra jayati śālini pāda-padmam. Ghnantyā muhuḥ kara-talena patat-pataṅgam. madhyam viṣīdati bṛhat-stana-bhāra-bhītaṁ. śānteva dṛṣṭir amalā suśikhā-samūhaḥ. Please chant. Mothers, not ekatra, in one place, your, jayati, stay, śālini, oh beautiful woman, pāda-padmam, lotus feet, ghnantyā, striking, muhuḥ, again and again, kara-talena, by the palm of the hand, patat, bouncing, pataṅgam, the ball, madhyam, the waist, viṣīdati, gets fatigued, bṛhat, full grown, stana, of your breasts, bhara, by the weight, bhītam, oppressed, śānteva, as if fatigued, dṛṣṭiḥ, vision, amalā, clear, beautiful, śikhā, your hair, samuḥ, bunch. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. This is the demon speaking. Oh beautiful woman. The demons are glorifying the evening in the form of a beautiful woman which was produced from the shadow of Lord Brahma. a beautiful woman. When you strike the bouncing ball against the ground with your hand again and again, your lotus feet do not stay in one place. Oppressed by the weight of your full-grown breasts, your waist becomes fatigued, and your clear vision grows dull. As it were, pray, braid your comely hair. Purport. The demons observed beautiful gestures in the woman's every step. Here they praise her full-grown breasts, her scattered hair, and her movements in stepping forward and backward while playing with the ball. In every step they enjoy her womanly beauty, and while they enjoy her beauty, their minds become agitated by sex desire, as moths at night surround a fire and are killed. So the demons become victims of the movements of the ball-like breasts of a beautiful woman. The scattered hair of a beautiful woman also afflicts the heart of a lusty demon. Prabhupada ki jai. Mukam karti bācālam bangam langai tekinam patat-padmam vandai Sri Gurum dinatarinam. The glorification of the beauty of the woman playing ball by the demons is very graphically described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada was commenting in a few previous verse about the sports, ladies' sports. It's gradually, ladies' sports are gradually becoming popular in India also. In the West, it's very progressive. There's ladies bodybuilding, ladies bodybuilding, or muscly lady, and they take the steroids as well to increase the muscular. Ladies bodybuilding. There's ladies boxing. Ladies boxing. There's even they call MMA, mixed martial arts. They do all, whatever, no rules, just like animals, ladies tearing each other with no gloves, mixed martial arts, ladies. I won't ask this august assembly, have you seen such things? But in India also now, the ladies' sports are there, gradually being, I think the athletics, has got athletics, track and field. And the men like it because the ladies wear the athletic gear and display their bodily features. So the demons are so influential. And Srimad Bhagavatam here, the topic here, very interesting. It's creation. It's creation. How did we get here? How did the evening time? The evening is not understood by the materialists. They have the neon lights. They don't even know it's evening time. They're just working, doing, look out the window, oh, it's night time. They're completely in such ignorance of the evening. And the dawn. They're sleeping in the dawn. They wake up, it's already sunlight. They don't rise before dawn like the spiritualists do. Yanisha sharva bhūtam yasham jayati bhūtani. Yanisha sharva bhūtanam, the time of sleep of all living entities. Yasham jayati bhūtani, that's the time of awakening of the self-introspective sages. So they sleep during the dawn. The dawn in Mayapur is very beautiful. The dawn, especially in Kartik month. There's clear skies, the rising sun, like a burning, beautiful, glorious. Udilo oduna purava bhage, tuichamani gauda amani jage. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he poetically describes the sunrise in Mayapur. Udilo Aruna, the rising of the reddish sun, Arun, reddish. Udilo, it rises. Purvabhage, in the eastern side. And at that time, Dvijamani, the jewel, the crushed jewel of the twice born Brahmins in Navadip, Dvijamani. Gauda, Amani Gauda, Dvijamani Gauda. Amani Jage, he wakes up. Bhakata-samūhaḥ, taking his devotees with him. Agelo Nagara Braja, he goes out into the towns and community, Nagar Braja, villages and cities, towns, Nagar. In the morning time, the dawn, Mahaprabhu would do Sankirtan in the dawn, at that time. It's so beautiful, especially in the Kartik month. The devotees here, the Gauda Bhaktagan, Bengali, Vaishnav, gone. They do Kirtan, it's very popular. In the Borbelai in the dawn in Kartik month. We're about to begin in a few weeks. And you'll see the Sankirtan parties. I spent several years in East Bengal, Purva Bengal Bhumi, in villages. And the tradition is there. ISKCON is there, but the local Vaishnavas in the Kartik month, they're dawn, they're village to village. They're doing the Sankirtan in the morning. It's a tradition. It's very wonderful. Since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vaishnavas have been performing such activities. And also the people that come, the village ladies, they come with the rice. And they bring a bowl of rice. And there's one devotee with a sack. And he's collecting all the rice from all the different ladies. And it's all different kinds of rice, actually. It's not the one grade of rice. It's different miniket chal and different types of rice, all different types of rice put in the sack, and it's cooked and offered to the Lord. And that's Gauda Priya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he likes that preparation so much. So the Western society, they have no appreciation of the dawn. Or some people, they get up, do exercise, but most people just sleep till 6:30. It's already daylight. They sleep through the dawn. Actually, such a waste of human form of life. Sattvam sanjayata jnanam. Just by rising early in the morning, you get knowledge and wisdom. Just by that, and sattvam sanjayata jnanam. Rising early in the morning, you get knowledge. Sattvam sanjayata jnanam. Knowledge is produced as a result of being in sattva guna. Rising early. And then also in the evening time, in the Western culture, the people, they have no appreciation of the evening. It doesn't rate a mention anywhere. And maybe a few poets wrote about it, but in the modern society, no one cares anything about the evening. It's just completely ignored. People just go on with their work till... But in the Vedic culture, the evening is very important. Even we were there in the villages, Bangladesh, and of course there's ISKCON and then there's Vaishnavas, but the common people, the Hindu, the common, every lady, they do the arati in the evening. Every common lady, every Hindu, you hear them blow the conch. Is it not? Other places in India too, in Bengal certainly. I'm assuming in other places in India, they blow the conch and they do arati and uludoni in Bengal, uludoni in the evening time. It's so auspicious when you hear. Here we're fortunate, this is Gaurnagar. And you're surrounded by devotees. In the evening time you hear the devotees, uludoni, and the blow the conch. It's so auspicious. And it's important, we were hearing a few chapters earlier about the evening and its significance in the union of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi. And because that she approached her husband for union in the time of evening, Kashyapa Muni was reluctant. However, because he was obliged to his wife, he was unable to refuse. And because of their conception, which happened in the evening, great demons were born. Of course, Kashyapa Muni, he was a great powerful yogi. And therefore the progeny was very, very powerful. But because at the inauspicious time, when Lord Shiva is traveling in the Akash regions with all of the ghostly beings, and he's looking for women who are engaged in sex at that time in order to place such inauspicious entities into the wombs of such mothers. So how inauspicious it is to conceive in the evening time. The evening time, even we know, even the common people, we don't hear so much discussed in our movement, but even the common people in Bengal, they know that in the evening time, not even to lie down in the sandhya. I'm assuming other places in India that culture is there, so not to lie down, not to eat, and to engage in spiritual activity in order to, we're supposed to chant Gayatri, the duly initiated Dvijagon at that time, and chant the Gayatri mantra, engage in spiritual activities in order to protect oneself, insulate oneself from the energy, the dangerous energy which becomes prevalent in the evening time. This is the science of human life, actually Banasram Dharma, how to live in such a way to avoid degradation of consciousness and remain always in at least satatam smartavyam satatam Vishnu, somehow or other remember the Lord, particularly in the evening. Even in ISKCON we don't emphasize enough, evening time meetings go on, people don't care. They don't care. Meetings, this and that going on in the evening, they don't care. The ladies in the village, they know, but ISKCON administration, oftentimes we just evening time, we don't even take notice. Even I was traveling there in Bangladesh many times during the day, the bus would stop, pull over during the what's that called? The namaz. And the bus stops. That doesn't happen in India, in the Sandhya. The bus stops and everyone gets out and pays obeisances to the Lord. But in Bangladesh, the moguls, they stop the bus and everyone gets off and they do the homage. So these things help us. They help that's what the Manasram Dharma is for. They help the common man. Basic principles of human life. Grihastha Dharma, Varna Dharma, to help the common man remember the Lord at every step of what to do in the evening. It happens every day. And in this way we can tune in to the environment, harmonize with the environment. Be aware of the day, be aware of the moon, be aware of what's going on in the environment and adjust the behavior accordingly. That's good for Krishna consciousness. Of course, ahoituki apratiyata, Krishna consciousness can be done in any circumstance. But if we're aware of the environmental conditions and we tune our Krishna consciousness accordingly, that's very good. That's very intelligent. That's what a Brahman's meant to do. So here the topic of the evening is coming up. Prabhupada's commenting that the passion becomes aroused in the evening. We're supposed to, Mahaprabhu would do the kirtan with the Gaurarti. The jewel of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the treasure of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gaurarti. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote several songs to be sung in the Sandhya. We sing the Gaurarti in all our temples, but there are other songs that he wrote also. In some of the mats, they sing them. The Radha Krishna Jugal Arti in the Sandhya time. Beautiful songs. And the arti is offered, the lamps are offered, the bells are ringing. Ghanta baje, shankha baje, ghanta baje, modur bhaje, shankha baje, ghanta baje. The conchas are blowing, the bells are ringing. Modur bhaje. So sweet. This is the treasure of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Participating in the Gaur Arti and dancing. Dancing and chanting the holy name and seeing the arti. As the Bhagavat and the Pancharatrika synthesis. The worship of the deity and the sankirtan performed at the same, and the dancing and the Gaur Arti. Gaudangera Rotik Shobha Jagajana Mana Lobha. The whole universe becomes attracted to the Gaur Arti. Gaur Arti is so sweet, so special. Here in Mayapur also very special. Gaur Arti, dancing. People, they come, the pilgrims, they come just to see the Vaishnavagan dancing in the kirtan and the Gaur Arti. And they're astounded. Chamatkar, amazing. Ache prem, ache nitya, ache hodi dhoni. Kaha naha deki, ache kaha naha shuni. Even Pratapruddha Maharaj, the king of Orissa, was astounded seeing the Sankirtan of the Gauda Bhaktagan, the Gauda Hoite Vaishnava from Gauda Desh. They arrived in Jagannath Puri. Gauda Hoite Vaishnava Ashya Chendui Shota. 200 devotees have arrived from Gauda Desh. They're waiting on the banks of Narendra Shobra. Mahaprabhu, Bhakti Shab, Maha Bhagavata, all devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, greatly advanced in devotional service. Gopinath Acharya, he's announcing to the king of Puri. And very interested, Prataparudra Maharaj immediately went on to the roof of the palace with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he's seeing, unlike us, when we're traveling, we're always stressed. We're always late. Gari Ashani, where's the taxi? There's a jam in the highway. One time I was going to the airport. It was actually Christmas Day, a few years ago. I got to the main road. The main road was complete jam. The main highway. Complete jam. There's no traffic moving. Just like sitting on the main highway. Everyone's in complete anxiety. We're in stress. And you get to the airport, there's a big queue. Have to get in, if you maybe go for the Digi Yatra, you get a special entrance. Of course, you're under complete surveillance the whole time. Digi Yatra, you just look into the camera, the door's open, you don't even have to show the ticket. It's all connected, you're all under surveillance. Digi Yatra makes it a little bit quicker in the lines, but we're in anxiety, and there's anxiety to check in, and people are pushing. And they're looking which counter, which is the less people, anxiety, so much stress. And then the security, you've got to strip almost half naked. Get through security, this, that. Finally you get to the flight, they play the music, and they play the music to relax you because people are so stressed. Of course on the budget flights they don't give anything, but in the old days, Indian Airlines, they give you mukhshudi. Even on Emirates, they come with a warm towel. But people are so stressed. It's so stressful. Travel is so stressful. So much anxiety. Mahaprabhu, the Gauda Hoite Bhakta, the devotees from Gauda Desh, they're not traveling like that. They're doing Sankirtan. And they're traveling doing Sankirtan. They arrive in Puri, in the Sankirtan. And the king, he sees the Sankirtan. He's astounded. Ache prem, such love. Ache nitya, such dancing. Ache hodi dhoni, such chanting of the holy names. Kaha naha deki, ache, I've never seen. Kaha naha shuni, I've never heard. Even the king of Orissa, he's seen so many kirtans. Even today, in the modern times, some of the grand road in Jagannath Puri, so much kirtan. Every day, how many kirtan parties you see? So can you imagine 500 years ago how pious the environment was, how the kirtan would have been 500 years ago? No amplifying system with a van, just singing. And Prataparudra Maharaj, he saw from the roof of the palace, he saw that Achai Prem, such love, because they're not professional, they're not paid kirtaniyas. In Bengal, the paid kirtaniyas, the kirtan, the Nam Jagya. There's a 3-day chanting of the holy name, Nam Yagya, it's called Nam Yagya. In Bengal, East Bengal, Nam Yagya. And the professional kirtan dol, the kirtan groups, professional, they go from one event to another, professional kirtaniyas. And everything, they cry on the ground, roll on the ground, ecstatic, professional. But Prataparudra, Achai Prem, love of God, that is not paid. Not that they're paid to perform. Achai Prem, such love of God. Achai Prem, Achai Nitya, such dancing. Imagine Advaita Thakur, Srivas Thakur dancing on the grand road, entering Puri. You can imagine, can you see? Prataburja, Gopinathacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they're seeing. Kahana Hedeki Ache, Kahana Shuni. I've never heard, I've never seen. What is this? He's asking, what is this? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what is this Sankirtan? Acha Bhattacharya Kohe, Modhur Bhachan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replies, Modhur Bhachan, this sweet sound. Sri Chaitanya Srishti, Prem Sankirtan. This creation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is Prem Sankirtan. Prem Sankirtan movement. Actually, we're the Prem Sankirtan movement. We have Kirtan Mela, but I think it should be called Prem Sankirtan Mela. Prem Sankirtan Mela, yeah. So that's how you deal with the evening time in the Gaudiya. We do the dancing, and then the Kirtan Mahaprabhu is there, and we're dancing in front of the deities of the Lord. So how did we get onto this topic of the girl bouncing the ball? The twilight. How did we get onto this topic? Actually, it was described about the girls playing sport with Devahuti in a few chapters to come. Kardama Muni. And he was a great yogi. He'd been doing penance for 10,000 years on the bank of Bindu Sarovar. A great Muni, a great Rishi, a powerful yogi. When he was united with Devahuti, he created the aerial mansion, which floated in the sky to different holiday spots, as they enjoyed for many years. In the aerial mansion, different rooms for different types of sensual pleasure. The yogi, he could create for Devahuti. So while that arrangement was going on, that combination of that arrangement, Devahuti was given to Kardama Muni by her father, Swayambhuva Manu, and he came, and Lord Vishnu himself appeared after the meditation of 10,000 years. Kardama Muni, he appeared there on a Garuda carrier and spoke to Kardama Muni, saying that Swayambhuva Manu will come with his daughter. You should accept. You should not refuse, because later, if you go looking for a wife, it's not so respectable. But now that she's being offered, you should accept. She's very qualified. She's very much suitable for you, engaged in spiritual life, and her beauty is so astounding that the demigod Vishvavashu, he was traveling in his aerial plane, and he saw Devahuti on the roof of the palace playing the ball. And he fell out of his airplane seeing her beauty. So Prabhupada comments that actually ball playing was for the aristocratic royal class, and it was only done on the top of the palaces, not in the public. And Prabhupada said that this is evidence that this is Satya Yuga. This also Satya Yuga, and the evidence that in the Satya Yuga there were skyscrapers. Otherwise, how would Vishvavasu been able to see from his aerial plane the Devahuti playing ball on the palace? So again, here the evening is bouncing the ball. How did we got onto this topic, evening of bouncing the ball? This is sarga, the different topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarga, atra sarga, visarga, stanam, poshna, mutaya, manvantara, isha, anukata, nirodha, mukti, asraya. 10 subjects described in Srimad Bhagavatam, and for this reason it's categorized as a Mahapurana. Seems the only Mahapurana with the 10 subjects. Atra sarga, visarga. The first 2 subjects, it's a sarga, visarga. Prabhupada translates creation and subcreation. In simple terminology, you could say creation. Sarga means the creation of the material world, the planets, the planetary systems, the modes of material nature, time, the elements, all of these. Bhumi, apal, nano, vayu. This is sarga, and the visarga is population. Population. That's the secondary creation. That's done by Lord Brahma. How we got onto the topic? This is discussed, and there's actually second time it's being discussed. It was discussed in second canto, the Pariksit was inquiring about Sarga and Visarga, and Sukadeva Goswami was discussing in second canto, describing the very beginning, Adi Kavaya, the original being, Lord Brahma, and how he's sitting on the lotus, and he was Tene Hridaya Adi Kavaya, Lord Vishnu, he revealed knowledge in the heart, the Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam, in the heart of Lord Brahma. And that's being described to Narad Muni, who's a Manasaputra. He's produced from the mind of Lord Brahma, without a wife, and without a mother. And Lord Brahma's wife, I think Saraswati, but the mother, then the Manasaputra. They're produced from the mind. Narad, Marichi, Kashyap, Bhrigu, Daksha, 4 Kumaras, others, the 9 or 10 Manasaputras of Lord Brahma. They're actually produced for creation. They're meant to be Prajapatis, creating progeny, and many of them, Marichi, Kashyap, Bhrigu, Daksha was expert in doing it. Narad Muni remained brahmachari, 4 Kumaras remained brahmachari. So that was described. And then at the end of the second canto, this is being described, the creation of Narad and the Manasaputras. At the end of the second canto, the sages, headed by Shonak, they say, oh, this is all very good about the creation and all that, but what happened when Vidura went on pilgrimage? What happened then? Because the first canto is described. You can go back to the first canto. The sages are there. Brudi, Buddhini, Karamani. So many injunctions. Shrotabhyani, Vibhaga, Saha. So many divisions. Atha, Shadu. Hey, holy man, Trayat Sharam. Tell us the essence, the cream. Trayat Sharam. Bruhi. Tell us. Bhadraya Bhutanam, which will give auspiciousness to all living entities. In Atma suprasidity, by which they will get satisfaction, real satisfaction of the self. That's text 10 of chapter 1. Srimad Bhagavatam. Questions. There's questions of the sages. And then Sutta Goswami, he's responding. He's answering what is the ultimate essence of all the scriptures, that by which one will get full satisfaction of the self. He's explaining the hearing of the Krishna's glories. Second chapter, first canto. Sundatam Sakata Krishna. Punna Shravan Kirtana. You get all the results of Banasram Dharma in Kali Yuga just by hearing and chanting. Punna Shravana Kirtana. Ridyantashto hi Bhadrani. All the inauspicious things are removed from the heart. Suritsatam and Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nitam Bhagavat Sevaya. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Everything inauspicious removed by hearing about Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, he mentions Krishna Isa Adam Upagate. This is just after Lord Krishna had departed to his own abode. Dharma, Jnana, Adivisaha, along with religion and knowledge. Kalo, Nastadrisham, Eshak, and those who are remaining in the Kali Yuga, who are Nastadrisham, whose vision is destroyed. Puranako, Adunuditaha, will get light from this Purana, which has just arisen, just now arisen, and is as brilliant as the sun. So, and then the sages asked, how did Vyas, who already had compiled so much Vedic literature, Vedas, the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Itihash, Mahabharat, he already compiled some. How did he get inspiration to subsequently write Srimad Bhagavatam? So then chapters 4 to 6, first canto, Narad and Vyas meeting. Narad Muni came to correct. Tadbhag Visharga Janatadga Biplava. Tashmin Prati Shlokam, even one syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam is Janataga Biplava, can create a revolution in the misdirected lives of the impious civilization. You should glorify one book. You should write one book which simply glorifies Krishna and his incarnations and Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Sutta Goswami begins. After that, he begins the end of the battle of Kurukshetra. The end of the battle of Kurukshetra. That's the punishment of Drona, Asvatthama, punishment of Asvatthama. And then Lord Krishna leaving Queen Kunti's prayers, please stay. And then they go, Bhishma departs. And then Lord Krishna departs from Hastinapura. Lord Krishna enters Dwarka. And then we hear that Vidura comes back. He comes back and he delivers Dhritarashtra. That's Mahatma Vidura. That's I think chapter 14, first canto. Vidura comes back and he delivers Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And then the Pandavas retire. Parikshit becomes the king. Parikshit's wandering. Parikshit's cursed. Shringi. Parikshit sits on the bank of the Ganga. Shukdev Goswami comes. First canto. And then second canto, the discussions of Sarga and Visarga. Lord Brahma is there. At the end of the second canto, the sages at Naimisharanya, they asked, where was Vidura? We heard he came back and delivered Dhritarashtra. Where was he? What happened? Where was he? So then actually everybody, Sukadev and Sutta Goswami, they describe the Vidura's pilgrimage. And first of all, Prabha Kshetra, he meets on the banks of the Jamuna, he meets Uddhava. Vidura, he meets first 4 chapters, the third canto, he meets Uddhava. And Uddhava describes Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, 2 chapters, and then 2 chapters his pastimes out of Vrindavan. The Uddhava and the Vidura conversation. And then, although Uddhava wanted to continue hearing from Vidura wanted to continue hearing from Uddhava, Uddhava directed Vidura to Maitreya, who was present there and also had been there when Krishna had departed and instructed Uddhava Gita, Krishna's departure. Maitreya was also there. And Uddhava, because Maitreya was a senior spiritual master, so Uddhava directed Vidura to Maitreya. So then there's conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. And Vidura inquires about the creation. The creation. What happens in the creation? Beginning. And Bhagavatam describes the creation. The Genesis is the creation of the universe, the creation of everything. The beginning of creation, it begins to describe. That's chapters 5 to 12, third canto. Everything's described. Lord Brahma, how he's creating all of these different things. And chapter 12 of third canto ends up, he's describing the Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. Lord Brahma creates the first woman, Satarupa, and Swayambhuva Manu. And then they have their offspring. We have here many learned scholars of the Bhagavat who can tell us the offspring of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. Give you a little more time to think about it. Unprepared. I sprung it on you without any previous warning. But we should know these things. Anyone, any son or daughter? Excellent. Bravo. Yes, these 5, the 2 sons, Priyavata and Uttanapat, and 3 daughters, Devahuti, Akuti, Prasuti. And then their offspring is the topic of cantos 3, 4 and 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam. The genealogical family of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. And it begins. What is that? That the Devahuti and Kardama Muni, there's the next few chapters we'll hear. Chapter 21, Devahuti and Kardama, next 4 chapters you'll hear as Devahuti. She's married to Kardama. And then their offspring is Kapil Muni, Kapil Dev, and his instructions are there, the remaining of the end of the 3rd canto. Beginning of the 4th canto, 1st chapter is Prasuti. And then Akuti, and then chapters 1 to 7, 4th canto is the offspring of Prasuti and Daksha. Who's that? That's Dakshayani Sati Jagya. First 7 chapters of canto 4. And then we go and we hear about the Uttanapat. And the remaining, after that, chapter 8, Dhruva Maharaj. And then Dhruva Maharaj's offspring is King Vena, Prithu Maharaj, the Prachanebahi, and the Prachetas. That takes us to the end of the 4th canto. And then, 5th canto, we hear about Priyavrata, the other son of Manu, Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, Priyavrata. And he's becoming the king. And then his descendants are Lord Rishabdev and King Bharat. That takes us to the middle of the 5th canto. And then there's some description of the Vedic cosmology, the planet, the ending up with the hellish planets, end of the 5th canto. And then Shukadev Goswami describes about going to hell, Prayashchitta, Ajamil, 6th canto. So in that way the topics of creation are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Any questions on today's verse?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I heard that Kashyap Muni had 13 wives and different types of living entities were born from them, like asuras, demigods, serpents and birds, etc. I wanted to know the background, that how is this happening? Means humans are producing different kinds of animal species.
Well, he's a great yogi, and this is empowered to do this. So this is descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam. The topic of Kashyap, the topic of the offspring of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa is interesting, and Vidura wants to hear about that because they produce such great kings, Raja Rishis. They produce this Satya Yuga. They produce such a family line, and so it's interesting. The Vidura is interested to hear about all of their offspring and the great kings, and of course they're all great Vaishnavas and their pastimes, and it's a very interesting topic. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.